This week on Newsround Extra, the misery and trauma caused by bullying. How this widespread problem can lead to illness and ruin children's lives.
I used to wait till the teachers weren't looking, and they used to hit me and kick me. I used to come home with bruises. I used to say that I used to get them from playing football.
Did this happen to you every day?
Nearly.
How has it affected your life?
I daren't go out anymore on my own because I'm scared that they're gonna get me. I don't think I'm gonna get a good job when I'm older because I ain't been to school for 4 years and I don't think I'm gonna be able to do my GCSEs.
This is the Bailey family. Mum, Dad, Matthew, Samantha and Michelle. But there's one person missing. Their older brother Ben tragically died in a car accident 7 weeks ago. It's devastated the family, and ever since then they've been trying to come to terms with their loss.
When you were told, did you believe it?
Not really. I thought it was another Ben that I know. And when that Mummy said, I've lost my big half brother and Daddy lost his son, that's what got me really crying. Ben and Mitch with my cat.
At all?
Sometimes, angry that he's left me.
Do you talk to Ben at all?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm on my own in my bed.
You've also got some special things. What do you do at night?
I just try and get to sleep.
You're a very brave chap.
Kelly in the film obviously felt that she couldn't make a commitment as a teenager. But can teenagers commit themselves? Rachel?
I don't think it's possible for a teenager to commit themselves.
Dustin, you're 17. You made a big decision called marriage. Tell Rachel how and why you made that decision.
Well, I think that teenagers basically know what they want.
OK, let's find out about the statistics, because teenagers making a commitment and getting married, is it possible? Julia, you're from an organisation called Relate, and you look after people who have difficulties with their marriages.
That's right.
What are the facts about teenage commitment and marriage? So if teenagers can't make the commitment as marriage, should teenagers be having sex? Because sex is an important part of a relationship, and teenagers talk about sex. Gina, should teenagers be having sex?
No.
I mean, the biggest problem in Britain is teenage pregnancy. We have the highest rate of teenage pregnancy in Europe, 30,000 girls every year. The minute you start drinking alcohol, all of your rational thoughts go out of the window, and you suddenly think, well, I've had a few, let's get on with it. And that's very true. And of course, there are loads of risks. And the thing that I'm particularly concerned about is diseases and illnesses that you can get as a result of having unprotected sex. And if you don't use condoms, I'm afraid you're at high risk of that. For example, syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV. It's a huge problem. It's getting worse in the heterosexual community. There's a study that shows for the second year running that HIV is going up in the heterosexual population because everyone thinks it's not really going to affect them. Chlamydia is really on the increase and is one of the commonest causes of infertility. Part of the problem is that a lot of teachers don't talk a contemporary message, something that you can understand in language that you can understand.
I think we all have a giggle.
Yeah, I think you're right.
At the back of the class when we were getting
absolutely
these talks on sex,
absolutely. But I think what's key to this is that you should say, or the way it should be taught is to say, look, there are a number of things. People believe different things. This is how people believe. If you want to not sleep with anyone until you're married, that is a fantastically positive decision. It shouldn't be seen as a negative decision.
In November last year, the tragic story of Leah Betts hit the headlines. She died after taking the drug ecstasy at her 18th birthday party. 8 months later, her 12-year-old stepbrother William is still coming to terms with what happened. The subject of drugs strikes fear and terror into the hearts of parents, and instinctively they think of things like cocaine, heroin and seedy environments, a world away from a residential street like this one. But there are other drugs that parents need to be aware of, because their children may well be in contact with them in their everyday lives. 5 of the most common drugs are ecstasy, amphetamines, LSD, cannabis and solvents. Well, In fact, they all did really, really well. And the thing is that children often know a bit, but they don't know a whole lot about drugs. And if you think they don't know enough, the people who really don't seem to know are the parents. What do you think about your parents? Do they know about drugs? Hello and welcome to Teen Week, and the first in a week's worth of programmes specifically aimed at teenagers and their problems. The big question is, do parents understand teenagers? Jane Harrison, you're the mother of James. Do you understand James, a teenager?
No.
So who else would agree that parents don't understand teenagers? Any parents that want to agree or disagree with that?
I understand my daughter, as long as she's getting her own way. This is my son, Graham. He just don't listen full stop. He thinks I'm too old-fashioned.
I'm a boy, I shouldn't be cleaning, I mean...
Who thinks he's wrong? OK, let's put it to him. Graham, it's all about respect. You don't have any respect for Mum.
Of course I do.
Well, I do want to ask the parents amongst you, aren't you being terribly hypocritical here? Because, you know, you were all teenagers. You didn't like your parents, really. How would you describe him to me?
He's very creative.
With regards to your older brother, how do you get on?
Quite badly.
Liam is clearly an adolescent. He's pushing boundaries, he's trying to exert his authority, he's trying to find out how he fits into the whole family and really what he can get away with. He, in my opinion, is picking on Josh because Josh is so different from him, and Josh tends to be a sort of a more introspective, thinking kind of boy. He's very, very different. He's not so exuberant. He isn't as outgoing. Liam plays by Liam's rules, the way he wants to play it, and actually there are two ways of doing things in his mind. Liam's way and the wrong way. And Liam really rules that roost. And it seems that he's almost being allowed too much of a free rein. Great stuff. Well, that's it from us today. Join us again, same time next week. Till then, bye-bye.